you a fan of Albert King, Muddy Waters? Are you a fan of
About that. All right.
Should I make funny faces?
San Diego's Jazz 88.3 and music there from Manuel Valera Sr. Recuerdos is the name of the new release, and the composition we were listening to there was Se Mi Comprendieras from Manuel Valera Sr.'s new release, Recuerdos. Coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to be chatting with Bob Sinicrope, the president of the Jazz Education Network. He's with us, coming from the East Coast by way of the NAMM show up a little bit north of us this last week. So we're going to get an update on the post-Jazz Education Network conference. Maybe Bob will tell us a little bit about the NAMM show and what's coming up for jazz education in 2015 as we're looking toward even the next Jazz Education Network conference in 2016 in Louisville. So we've got a lot to talk about. We're going to check in with Bob in just a few minutes, and we also have music from Jeremy Pelt's new release, Tales, Musings, and Other Reveries, coming up here on the New Jazz Thing. Programming is made possible with contributions of listeners like you and the La Jolla Playhouse, presenting the world premiere of The Darrell Hammond Project. Saturday Night Live's Darrell Hammond, known for celebrity impressions, tells the true stories of his shocking life events, January 30th through March 8th. Tickets at lajollaplayhouse.org, and if you frequent the jazz88.org blog or even the homepage, scroll down a little bit and you've got your chance to enter your name in for one of 5 pair of tickets to see the Darrell Hammond Project. And we're going to be giving those away a little bit later in the week, but you need to get in now and get your name in to the drawing out there at jazz88.org.
Albert King, Muddy Waters, Marsha Ball, and Stevie Ray Vaughan? Well, if so, you'll want to join me, J. Otis Williams, this Wednesday for our Jazz 88.3 Blues Jam. Guitarist Mark Augustin leads the blues-filled jam session, and if you've got the itch to show off your skills, you can jam along too, or simply hang out and groove to the tunes. It's all happening at Proud Mary's in Kearney Mesa from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. More information is available at jazz88.org.
And you know that J. Otis is there with you all the time. Future Blues Jam guests include Lamont DeMille, Sue Palmer, and more. The Blues Jam is back in full swing at Proud Mary's. Well, we just finished up one of the most impressive events here in San Diego, Jazz. We haven't seen anything like this in a long time. It was the Jazz Education Network 2015 conference at the Manchester Grand Hyatt. And joining us this evening to do a little recap of that and what else is going on in jazz education is the president of GEN, Bob Sinicrope. Bob, welcome back to the New Jazz Thing. We just had you in here a few weeks ago. It seems like time passed so quick.
It's great to be here, and thanks for having me on, Vince.
So, Bob, tell us a little bit, give us a post-wrap of the conference. How did the conference go here in San Diego back at the first week of January?
I thought it was amazing, and everybody I've spoken with has just said that it was just wonderful. You know, there's just so many people gathering to celebrate jazz and jazz education, and just so much positive energy, and just filled with young people, experienced people, and it's just this common bond that we all have, and just fun, and it's amazing music, and just a great gathering. Mm-hmm. So we're ecstatic.
Great. And so you met all the goals that you had for a show out here on the West Coast?
Surpassed them.
Excellent. How many people attended the conference?
Over 3,500 people.
Over 3,500. And was there, how was the San Diego jazz showing there?
I thought it was pretty strong. I mean, we had some good players that participated. on the stage and in the clinic rooms, and we had people that came to enjoy the experience. So we're just all around pleased. It was great.
Well, so then as we now are rolling into 2015, I know that coming out of conferences like that, and there is lots of ideas, and it's such a creative time. What are some of the things that came out of that may be impacting the Jazz Education Network and jazz education in general coming up in 2015?
Well, you know, we feel like we're on the right track, especially with our conferences. You know, all of them have been successful, and they seem to be growing. So I think we're doing a lot of things well. And of course, you know, we look at little things that we need to tweak here and there. But you know, for a volunteer staff to put on that gathering, we're pretty proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we hope to continue that in Louisville. You know, if people enjoyed themselves here, we're going to continue to have a great time in Louisville, Kentucky, January 6th through the 9th at the Galt House, which is a return visit, and that space is really fantastic. Speaking as somebody who teaches in Louisville every summer for the last 30 plus years, it's a great city, and so we welcome people to come out and partake in that. And speaking of that conference, we have an opportunity for people to perform or who want to give clinics or research to submit from February 1st to March 31st on the website. It's very important that people who want to participate at that level keep those dates in mind, because we can't really accept anybody who applied who's interested after March 31st.
Mm-hmm.
We had a record number of submissions for San Diego, and we expect that to you know, at least stay at that level. So we want people to, you know, participate by presenting and performing, and urge them to do that.
That's coming right up too.
It's coming right up. No rest for the weary.
Yeah,
I mean, Monday after the conference, the phones were buzzing and talking about Louisville and you know, what we can do and going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's really great, the energy. A couple of other things that are available to people who are interested. If you're an educator, there's a traditional jazz project CD, ROM, which you can get by going to our website if you're a member. It's an amazing project by one of our members, Dave Robinson, and he's done this history and just this fantastically in-depth presentation on traditional jazz, and so that's available. We also have Jazz to You grants, where members can apply to get support to perform at schools or community centers. And we're particularly looking for people who want to do that on April 30th, which is International Jazz Day. So that's something you can apply for support. We also have scholarships and awards that are available, and we welcome people to apply for those. There's also opportunities to get involved on committees. As you know, as being a chairman of our marketing committee, you don't have to be on the board of Gen to participate, and we welcome people that have passion and skills to join us in this really marvelous effort. There's something about being on the team of volunteers, all working towards a common goal. I know I said it before, but I just love it. You know, it's just this. We're not in it for the money,
Right.
So those are some things coming up.
So the keynote address was delivered by Herbie Hancock.
Yes, it was.
This year, and what an address that was. From your standpoint, maybe even just yourself or for the Jazz Education Network, were there any takeaways from that may influence kind of the direction of jazz education going further? He was really entreating people to do something different and reach people where they're at now, kids where they're at now with mobile, on devices, how they take in music and information now. Are there things that you and the board came out of that with?
There are definitely lots of takeaways. The two that I can remember are the one where he gestured with his hand down to the ground and up in the air about mentoring. You know, and so as you evolve as a jazz musician and, you know, jazz teacher, you make sure that you bring along people. And so that was another one. And then I'm not going to get the exact wording right, but he talked about people don't remember people who don't break the rules. You know, so as a high school teacher, my job, I feel, is to teach the student the rules. And I tell them, once you learn the rules, you don't have to follow them at all. but you need to learn what the rules are. And so, Herbie it was really quite a cool way of expressing it. People don't remember people who don't break the rules.
Right. Well, so you just got back from the NAMM conference. You're coming through San Diego by way of Anaheim, I believe is where the NAMM conference was. What were you doing there? Was this an official role? You have multiple hats.
I do.
You're a teacher, a musician, and president of GEN. What were you doing at the NAMM show?
Well, I was one of several people representing GEN. We are partners with the NAMM show. In fact, their president came to the show, to the GEN conference. And I was with 120,000 of my new best friends at the exhibits. If you've never been to the NAMM show, it is just overwhelming. I mean, truly, I was told 120,000 people come, and it's all exhibits, and it's just a beehive of activity. One of the things that we did is Quincy Jones has a consortium, and it's a group of people who are doing pioneering things in music education to get together to network, and that's an annual event. So that was the main goal to come to attend, and some of our Caleb Chapman and Tony White and Ruben Alvarez were at that. Andrew Sermani was at the Alfred booth, which was visited Thursday by Herbie Hancock.
Nice.
Yeah. And by the way, I was also talking, I was at a booth, the finale music notation booth, and there was a crowd gathered across the aisle, and I said, what's going on? Well, there was Stevie Wonder. So, and I almost hit Rod Sterling by accident. So it's amazing, who goes to these things. But at the Quincy Jones Consortium, it's just really powerful because all these people are doing wonderful things. And so Quincy Jones brings, he wasn't there this year, but he brings these people together. And there was a wonderful partnership between Little Kids Rock, which is a program to get music into the public schools. And Berkeley College was there last year and heard about this Little Kids Rock, that's the right name, Little Kids Rock program, and now have partnered with them just in the last year, and they're on their way toward raising $4.5 million to get instruments into New York City public schools. So that was phenomenal. And I have a personal story that there's a young man in England named Jacob Collier who has these YouTube videos where he sings all 6 parts of Take 6-like arrangements that he does of jazz standards and some pop tunes. And it's extraordinary. He's also a fine instrumentalist, amazing instrumentalist, and his video skills are great. And as a teacher of young people, I really wanted to meet him. And I saved my seat at the Quincy Jones meeting, and I went in the other room, and I came back, and there was this young man sitting in a chair that I had reserved for Caleb, my friend, and I tapped him on the shoulders, and it was Jacob Collier. And it was like, you never know who you're going to meet at the NAMM show.
Never know.
So it was great.
Well, tell folks where they can find out more information about the Jazz Education Network and what's going on, especially with some of those upcoming dates that are coming up. Where can people find out more information?
jazzednet.org. jazzednet.org is our website, and everything's on the website. And again, the submissions are between February 1st and March 31st. And please tell all your friends, that if they want to be part of this, it's a real honor, I think, to be on the giving end of the conference.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we're going to try to step up a little bit more here at Jazz 88.3 and get that information out to you. We'll post links from our website to the GEN website, especially as those dates come open, and try to get the next step up in San Diego Jazz to the conference.
And if I could just add, I'm not going to mention any names because I'm sure I would leave out, but I just want, on behalf of GEN, I just really want to thank the hundreds of people who supported the conference by all sorts, by outreach. We had amazing outreach programs. We had volunteers. We had people like the KSDS that just helped us publicize this. We had people who brought music stands. You can go on. And again, if I mention names, I could be here for 3 weeks. But we're really grateful to San Diego, and we just appreciate the warm reception that they gave us.
Well, we as we've said many times, the mission of Jazz 88 to present jazz and to educate our listeners really dovetails with what Jen does, and so we're very happy with the partnership and look forward to building on it going forward. Bob,
Thank you, Vince.
Bob Sinicrope, for the Jazz Education Network president, thanks very much for hanging out with us tonight on the New Jazz Thing. Music here to get things back in that gear with Jeremy Pelt. Tales, Musings, and Other Reveries is his new release, and this is Vonetta on the New Jazz Thing on San Diego's Jazz 88.3.
Thank you.
There we go.
Sorry about Jacob Collier, but
No,
to
that's
me,
good.
Do you know who this guy is?
No, I do not, but